Hello friends, in this video we will see the directory structure, how it looks. So we can either open a terminal. I'll first show you the graphical user interface. You can go to my computer. So here we'll have something called Filesystem. When you double click on it, so you can see all the folders which I mentioned earlier. So the /bin directory, /boot, /dev. So we'll see what inside /bin. You can see the binary files. You have a lot of files. You have bash, you have bunzip. So bunzip 1 is one of the compression type. Bunzip 2 is similar to unzip or zip. So we have chmod, chown. So all these can be used by all the users. So these are executables, sleep, sed. So sed is one of the powerful editing tool like a VI editor. We'll also have a VI here. We'll check where's VI. So we don't have VI editor here, no problem. You have print working directory, you have rm, rmda, remove directory. So all these commands will be available here, host name command. So these commands can be used from command line. You have gunzip, you have bunzip, you have df, dir command. Okay, a lot of commands are there here, so which can be used by many users, and there are some shell scripts here. So you can see these are scripts, executable scripts available here. So if you try to open with a text editor, we'll see. Okay, we'll open with text editor. So you can see this is a shell script. So you can also have some executable shell scripts here in /bin. We'll go to /directory again. We have boot directory. So don't mess up with this directory. So if you do something wrong with this directory, your system will not boot. And we have a grub menu here. So grub menu, we have something called menu.list. Okay, I'll show this file to you. So here we can have, you can see here, this is the menu. When we start our operating system, this will be the menu. If you have one more operating system, if you have a dual boot, you can see it. You can have a Windows dual boot here. You don't have to add it manually. When you install the operating system, it automatically checks what are the operating systems available in the system, and it puts one entry here for each operating system. So it put 3 entries by default for the Ubuntu, and it puts one more entry if you have a Windows machine, a Windows operating system. So this is the boot directory, and it has some boot configuration files. These are links. You can see these are links to a different directory. We'll see what links are later. So we have /dev directory. You can see a lot of devices will be here. So block devices, character devices, disks. What are the disks available by ID? You can see these are hard disk devices. These are linked to the hard disk actually. So by label, by UID. So we have drives, okay, and input devices. You can see input devices. You have mouse 0, mice, event listeners. Okay, a lot of devices will be there in computer. So most of the devices I don't know, because we have audio device. So you can see a lot of devices are there. I don't know actually what all these devices are exactly. So we have terminal devices, like terminal is also considered as a device. So USB device, you can see USB device, you can see USB. PTS, SHM, input, and audio. A lot of devices are there. Probably a DSP file would also be there. You can see. So when you write to this file, you'll get a small sound. Okay, this is actually an audio file. So audio device. When you write something to this, how to write to this file? Don't try to edit from here. You can go to command line and edit to that file. You can say echo hello to DSP. Okay, /dev/DSP. So you get a small sound here whenever you do this. Okay, so you're sending some text, some data, some junk data to this. You will not get a hello output. You will not get any sound, like it doesn't say hello, but you get some small click sound if you type something like this. Okay, we will do this here. Echo. So you get small beep, or not even a beep, it's like a small disturbance. Okay, it's not actually a music or something, it's just a data, so rough data. So it's a device actually. Whenever you access this file, you're not accessing the file, you're actually accessing the device. So similarly, all the files belong to, you can see DVD, a fuse, a log, a network, port, a port number. So all these devices are there. A block devices, you get a lot of block devices. You get character devices, which you write in the form of character. So we'll go to the /dev directory. Okay, this is how it looks. So don't worry about if you don't understand this. The network devices, you'll find it here. Okay, tunneling, all those things. So don't worry if you don't understand. Even I don't understand most of these devices. So we have etc directory, so the configuration directory, so where a lot of system configuration is there for all the software. So most you can see IP root, network manager, Pango, SSL configuration, SSH configuration. So these are very important configuration files. syslog conf. See, everything is a configuration file here. You have rc local. So we'll talk about later some configuration of startup configuration later in some videos. So we have one more directory, home directory. You can see there's only one user right now, Mac. So if I create one more user, so I'll create one more user right now. You say okay, now I'll say user add Ramesh. I'll give it in a small case, Ramesh. So I have to cd/home Ramesh. You can see there's no directory created here. So when we'll create a user ID, password for this user, password Ramesh. Okay, I'll create a password for Ramesh. I'll re-enter the password. So passwords authenticate. I'll do /home/Ramesh. So it says no such home directory. Okay. So we'll see why exactly. User add -d. So it should be created here. Okay. So no directory, login with /home. So user will do exit. Okay. We'll delete this user. Okay, we'll use one more command, add user. You can see it says creating home directory. So it again depends on the version of Linux. Ubuntu uses add user rather than user DL. Fedora uses user del, so it uses user add. So now we can say So that's for full name. Just press enter for everything. Now I'll say okay. You can see now I can log into Ramesh's account. I'll do Control D. I'll do Control D. So you can use exit command to come out of a user, or you can use Control D as a shortcut. So now if I log in as Ramesh, so this hyphen is for home directory. So if we use this hyphen, it goes to home directory, or it will be remaining in the same directory. So now you can see PWD, we have logged into users. So you should remember, whenever you use add a user, you can either use it user add or user add user. So the Ubuntu version of Linux uses add user command, so that it creates you can see here, whenever we use the add user command, it's adding the user, adding the group, it's adding the new user with the group Ramesh, and it's creating the home directory, and it's copying the files from Skell directory. So I would suggest you to use add user with Ubuntu and user add with Fedora. So we'll just clear everything on the screen. Okay, we'll clear the screen. Now you can see the Ramesh folder is being created. The home folder contains all home directories of all the users. So we have lib. Lib has some important shared libraries. You can see everything is starting from lib, lib. So these are shared libraries for all the softwares. So we have something called lost and found. We have something media. So medium, you can see CD-ROM share. So you can mount files here. So it's whenever you have a pen drive, so it will be mounted to /media /disk or /USB, or if you have given a pen drive name as for example Ramesh, it will be in /media /Ramesh. So it will mount automatically. So we have a mount directory. We can mount the devices here also. We have OPT. You can install optional softwares here in the /OPT. We have proc. You can see a lot of processor will be there in the folders. If you check, everything is a file in Linux. And if it's a process, if it's a device, everything is a file. If you check this file, open with the text editor. So you cannot see whatever mounts are there. So file system, you can see open with. So these are not visible depending on the permissions. Okay. So these are all process. There's something called meminfo. So if you are not able to see from here, I would suggest you to go with cat /proc meminfo. You can see the memory information here using /proc /meminfo, and you can see /CPU info. You want to check the CPU information. You can see it says vendor is genuine Intel, and the model is 2-3 Pentium dual core processor E5300. So CPU, cache size, CPU ID level, a lot of things are there here. I don't know what exactly these things are, what this fdev bug. So but again, if you are good enough with processors, you can check. You can also see the CPU family here. Okay, so dual core processor. So you can use a proc directory to get more information about the process. So we're not sure exactly what these files are, and there will be some net. If you want to check network processes, you can see what are the devices, what are the processes running in. If the /proc /net and /proc /a sound, you can see what are the sound devices. So what is the card currently doing what process. So all this process will be, some process will be sleeping, some process will be running. Everything will be available here, all the processes in the system. So this is currently I'm in, you can see pwd, I'm in /directory. This is the root directory of all directories. We have root directory. This is the root. You cannot see any files. You see, normal user cannot see any files inside this. No files will be visible. So if you create a folder, you can see you cannot create folder because you don't have permission to create root user's home directory. So only root user can access it. So you can do that /root. If you list anything, nothing will be listed. So what you can do, if you can log in. Now if you do ls -l, okay, there's no folders right now in a directory. ls-al, okay, okay, you can see a lot of hidden files out there. So one of the files which start with the dot are called hidden files. You can see the permissions on those files. If you want to create a folder, you can file or a folder, you can see touch new file. This is the file name. You can see the new file is created. So only root user can see the file or create a file or read a file, execute a file in this folder in the /root directory. I'll go to I'll do Control D to exit cd/. So this is the / directory, the topmost. I'll do a clear. Okay. So now you can see the file got created. Now we have sbin directory, system executables, system administration task. You can see file system check. You can see file system FS check of all vfat for what FAT system, for NTFS system, for DOS system. You have a lot of devices, halt, init. So all these are system IP tables. IP tables are similar to the firewalls in Windows machine. The Windows similar to a Windows firewall. We have MKDOS, MKFS. You can see the make file system files here. You can convert the partition to ext4, ext3. So the data will be lost whenever you try to convert. A lot of system administration files are there. Scripts also, executable scripts also available here. So DHCP client, you can see a lot of system administration files in sbin. So SRV is for server files. You can install a server here if you want. Again, if you have choice to install user local folder, we have system here. So you can see system block. So you have RAM, serial, SDA. So a lot of files are there for hardware. So block devices, bus, system bus, firmwares, modules, devices. You can see block devices. So a lot of devices will be there. Power devices, range, size of the device, capable. So we'll go to / directory again, and temp directory. So anyone can write in the temp directory. I'll show you here. ls-l. So we are currently in / directory. You can see the temp directory here. Anyone can write here. All the permissions are given to everyone. So you can see RWX, and RWX. Don't worry about this Steve right now. So we have anyone can write to the temp directory. So all of the directories are restricted for others. You can see nobody can write except the owner of the file. That's the root user is the owner here, and it's a group belonging to root. The file belongs to root group. Only the root user can read, write, and execute. All others can only read and execute the files. But the temp directory, everyone can write here. So we'll go one directory up. We have /user directory. You can see it's almost you can see the bin /sbin, include, lib. So similar to the a little similar to the / directory, you have user related binary files. You can see probably you can see VI editor is available here. Link to VI editor available here. You can unzip a lot of files which it's not so critical files, so you can use for some. These are some utilities available to you. You can see clear command is available here. Checksum. You can checksum of a file. Do a checksum for a file. So simple files are there. Ekiga, you can see the Ekiga is a software available for you. Edit. So some shell scripts are also available. You can see these are shell scripts. Okay, we go one directory up. You have sbin. You can have, so you can see user add, user delete, user mod functions. These are user administration functions. In slash user slash sbin, you have user administration slash user mod, user delete, user add. You can also have add. You can add user. So add user script. So this is a script created by Linux Ubuntu people. We'll open this with display. So this is a script. You can see. You can see it makes use of user add function inside it. You can see it makes use of user add function and creates the user. So don't worry if user add does not work on your system properly. I use the add user script. This is the script which you can use. I'll go one directory up again. So you have share, you have source, a lot of folders are there. We'll see what's in include. So it will have some library files. You can see all the C programming library files, .h files here. So these are include, whichever we include in the library files. The include files are usually present in slash user slash include. We go back to slash folder again. So we have last var. So var contains log files and a lot of spool mail files. You can see mails and log files. A lot of log files are there. These log files keep on increasing in size. So we already talked about this. Okay, we have a lot of backup. You can have backups. You can back up some files here. So all these things will be stored in slash. This is var. It's a variable directory. The size of this it keeps on varying. And so we saw this here from the graphical user interface. We can see the same thing even in. You can see ls. When I do ls, I get all the folders, same folders in the slash directory. You can cd slash user. You can see you can do ls. Okay, to list all the files. You can do ls minus al. So minus a is for all the files including the hidden files. L for long listing. If you don't do a long listing, only a short listing will be there. Okay, we will clear the screen. Okay, cd slash home slash mac. Okay, controls. I'll do a control C. If I don't execute this function command, I'll do control C. It will not be executed. I'll do pwd print working directory. Currently we are in slash directory. So we'll go to cd slash home mac. We'll go to documents. Okay. So if we do cd dot, it goes one directory up. If we do cd hyphen, we go to the previous directory, whichever directory we were in previous command. If I do cd slash, okay, now I'm in slash directory. You can see pwd. So we are in slash directory. If I do cd hyphen, we'll go back to slash home slash mac slash. So it's a previous directory. If we do cd and tilde, a tilde symbol, cd and tilde symbol, we go to home directory, slash home slash directory. You can do pwd. You can see if you want to go back to home directory, we can. I'll do one thing, slash mac, media share. Okay, I'm in share directory. If I do cd and press enter, I'll directly go to my home directory again. I don't have to put a tilde symbol. So this is the directory structure we already seen in the theory video. So we saw even the umask, and I want to show you fdisk utility. If I do fdisk minus L, it will list. Okay, fdisk minus L. We'll do su switch user. We'll do fdisk minus. Okay, fdisk minus L. So you can see all the partitions in your computer. You can see this has been, all these are partitions in computer. You can see /d, this is one device, first partition, the second partition, and third partition. So this is an extended partition, you cannot access this directly. So the extended partition, we have a swap memory. So we have first one as a ext3. This would be, I have configured as a ext3. So it says we have fdisk minus L. So if you do fdisk and press enter, so it'll ask me which device I need to check for. If I give the first partition, I say fdisk minus L, it says this is a device contains neither a valid DOS partition table on our Sun SGI, building a new DOS disk label with identifier. Okay, so if you do yum, you'll get help. So if you press yum, you can add a new partition. So if whenever you add a new partition, it will delete the partition, it will share the partition to a new partition. You will lose some files here, and you can toggle the boot flag. You can edit the if it's a BSD disk label, you can edit it. You can delete that partition if you want. So I'm not going to do anything right now. So until we don't write the table to disk, it will not exit. If I say only Q without quit without saving changes, I say Q and press enter, it will quit out of the fdisk utility. So we have one more mkfs. You can see we can convert any file system partition to the different file system. You can change to vfat /dv SDA1. So if I press enter, so that will be formatted, all the data will be lost. Actually I have only SDA1 as my ext3 partition, and the second one is a swap series, and this extended one I'll talk about partition in a later video, don't worry. So we have only one day. The operating system is inside this partition. I don't want to do anything for that right now. So this way we can do partition using an mkfs utility, and we can do delete a partition, add a partition using fdisk utility. And one more is fsck / I can use the same directory again /dev SDA1. If I press enter, it says warning, running E2. So E2FS check on a mounted file system may cause severe file system damage. See, whenever some drives partitions are mounted, you should not do FS check, because you will be trying to write something, and some program will be trying to write something in the directory, and at the same time if some FS checking is done, the system will not understand exactly, and there is a chances of system failure. I'll do N. Okay, so aborted. So press N and press enter. So you have to check the file system only when it's unmounted. How to unmount and mount a file system? We'll see whether we have an ISO file. I'll show you. Okay, we have ISO file here, cd/op directory ls. Okay, file fdisk minus L. Okay, we don't have a ISO file. I'll create an ISO file. Now I go to sound and video. I'll go to Brasero disk burning. So I'll just add some files here. So I'll just add these files and create a new ISO image. I'll say burn to image file. I'll burn it as it's inside the home folder, brasero.iso. Apply, I'll say burn. So it's completed. I don't want to burn the same again for the next time. I'll say cancel. Okay, now I'll close this. Close without saving. I'll go to home folder. So you can see as ISO file. I can select this and right click, and I can write to disk. I can open with archive mounter. See, when I mount this, you can see we can check the files inside this. Okay, you can see here it's been mounted here. So we can check whatever the files inside this. We can mount this way using graphical. I can say unmount. So I can mount this file using a command line. Okay, I'll go to CD. Okay, I'll go to home directory. Okay, I should be as a Mac. I should be a root user to mount devices. Okay, we'll try to mount as a normal user. That's Mac. Okay, CD lsb star. Okay, we have a ISO file here. mount slash. Okay, we'll mount the Brasro ISO file slash home Mac. We have some directory. I'll mount it to music directory. So only root can do that. You can see only root can mount a file. So what we will log in as a root. So most of the times it will be mounted to slash media. I'll mount it to share. Okay, it's not a it's not a block device, so it gives some warning. So you can use -o. It's giving us suggestion how to do it. -o loop. So now you can access using this. I say CD ls. You can see the same files here. So we can mount any ISO image on a Linux machine and access it. So now I'm inside the mount place. I'm the SharePoint. If I try to do AO mount, this is to unmount. We can say either this name. Okay, I'll say unmount and press enter. You can see the device is busy. So whenever we inside the folder, we cannot unmount it. We have to go. So two folders, one folder above the shares. Now if I say unmount. Now if I go to Slidis, I've already unmounted it. If I go to media and share and do ls, there will be nothing because it's unmounted from that place. You cannot check this whatever the files. So once this is unmounted, you can mount this by this right click, open with archive mount, or you can mount this in a graphical way. But again, it is better to know even in the command line way. So you have to use mount command, Brasro ISO, the ISO file name, and the mount location, the mount point, and then you can mount the files, and then you can access using this mount point. You can go to that directory and access the files inside the ISO file. So I'll clear the screen again. So the last utilities which we want to check is df. When you press df, you can see all the mounted partition in your computer, all the mounted devices, everything mounted drives. df -h. It will show you in megabytes. You can see here the /dev/sda1 is 5.1 GB. So you can see this is the mount location is slash. So you can also mount a /var in a different partition, /boot in a different partition, /home in a different partition, and different hard disk. You can also do it on a different hard disk. You can mount all the home directory in a different drive, and the slash directory in a different drive, the /var in a different drive. So currently I have just only one drive, SDA drive. So these are all temporary file systems which been mounted. So this is the main one. So if you use -h, that is the human readable form, that is megabytes. So it will show you the mounted partition, mounted file systems size, the mounted partition size. So we will see one more utility, that is du. So it will give the current directory size. It says 4. You can -du4. Okay, what I'll do is I'll cd/home, change directory to home Mac. I'll do du. You can see all the files, shows the size of all the files inside the home directory and the total out of it. So what we'll do, we'll make it in a readable form, du -h. Again, you can see it shows in kilobytes and megabytes. And we'll do something called sch. Okay, it will show you the total of space allocated, the 26 megabytes. Okay, it's to do capital S. Okay, you can see. So you can also give a minus max depth is equal to 1. So it will give you to a one depth. So it will give you below. It is again depends on you how you want to look. The best way is ds minus sch without mentioning the depth. So it will give the total size of the home directory is 26 MB. You can see here. So 26 MB is the total depth, total space occupied by the home directory of /home/mac. So if you want to check for home directory, you can see cd dot dot. You can see it's again showing the dot 26M, and we can check for /var. You can see how much 155 MB is occupied by /var directory. You can check for /etc. 13. Only the configuration. You can see the /var is very big. Again, we can do user. So /user contains. So what is the size of it? It takes a lot of time. So you can see most of the softwares are also installed in /user. So probably it'll take a lot of time to show what's the size of the /user directory. So you can imagine how many softwares have been installed, how many shared documents are there, and /user/share doc. You see total of 1.7 GB. You can see 1.7 GB is being occupied by /usr directory. Friends, in this video we saw how the file system is directory structure is a little practically. So we'll see more about Linux in the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching this video.